Hello everyone, my name is V and welcome back to the Lavender Laboratories Format Lab. Today we are back in Revolution a second time around, and today we are going to be looking at a deck called Hunders. Now, if you are ever around in the hat format Xyz era, you will know of these cards, the Hunders. These cards are very easy normal summons of level 4 Light Thunder monsters. And what's funny, they're not even once per turn. So you've got these combos of Ma Hunder to Pa Hunder, back to Ma Hunder if you wish to, into something like a Bro Hunder. And we're going to get into what exactly that means today. Apologies if the mouth tracking is a bit weird, I think it's a bit delayed. So, to begin with, we have Diana the Light Spirit, which is not a normal summon. It cannot be, in fact. It is a special summon by banishing a light from your graveyard, and once per turn during your opponent's end phase, gain 1,000 life points. Now, that's not terribly good, but what is good is the free summon, allowing you even more fodder with leftover Hunders in your graveyard. If you notice, and you may not know this card, we are not playing Cis Hunder, which is the common way to restore in Hunders, which is not an archetype. So Revolution format today is formats that don't have archetypes. All archetypal cards have been banned, except for a few exceptions that we'll get to. So, without further ado, let's continue. We have Thunder Seahorse. You can discard this card, add 2 level 4 Light Thunders from your deck to your hand with 1600 or less attack, and they have to have the same name, but you can't special summon. So you can search 2 Ma Hunders, 2 Pa Hunders, 2 Bro Hunders, which is really useful. And so now we move on to the first one, Ma Hunder. When this once per turn, you can normal summon a level 4 Light Thunder in your hand as an additional normal summon. Now, that can be used in tandem with Pa Hunder, which has the exact same effect. They are both self-restrictive. Next, we have Kage to Kage. Must first be special summoned by its own effect. When you normal summon a level 4 monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Now, what's really interesting about this can trigger on any Hunder normal summon. So if you get it later on in your combos, which you'll see down here with King of the Feral Imps, you can still take advantage of it. Next, we have Bro Hunder, which is the core of this deck. When this card is normal summon, you can add a level 4 Light Thunder from your deck to your hand. So, what's interesting here is you can use it to search Thunder Seahorse, which can get you 2 more, such as Ma Hunder or Pa Hunder. Or, you can use it to get Otonari Thunder online. If you control 2 or more Thunders, and this is in your hand or graveyard, you can special summon it, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can target 1 Xyz monster you control, attach 2 level 4 Light Thunders from your hand, face-up, field, or graveyard to it as material, including this card you control. Now, what's really cool about this is it allows you to, here, let me just make a slight adjustment there. Okay, that might minorly help. There, okay, here, sorry about that, is what this card allows you to do is it allows you to have consistent extra material, because what's interesting about Xyz monsters, if a monster is detached as Xyz material, it won't work. It won't be banished. So, because it's not leaving the field. So, you can take advantage of this over and over again to get consistent extra bodies, along with the many bodies you will be getting from the Hunders. Next, we have Electrode Beast Cation and Anion. Cation, if it's normal summon, you can search an Anion from deck or graveyard, then you can normal summon a level 4 or lower Thunder, and then you are locked into light Xyz monsters. Finally, you can target 1 other Thunder monster you control that has level. This card's level becomes that monster's. So this is used in tandem with Electrode Beast Anion. If this card is normal summon, you can make this card level 4, then add a Spirit Converter from your deck to your hand. Then you can target another card you control, send it and this card to the graveyard, and if you do, draw a card. Now, what's really convenient about this is it allows you to get extra advantage with Spirit Converter, because this card has a graveyard effect, which we will get to in a moment. Next, we have Ready Fusion for Darkfire Dragon, because very easy ranked 4s. And we have Recycling Batteries, which allows you to grab back basically this entire deck, which is really good. Everything except Thunder Seahorse can be grabbed back with Recycling Batteries. Next, we have the 1 Spirit Converter. Once per turn, you can target an Xyz you control, attach a face-up level 4 light monster you control to it as Xyz material, and when this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target 2 level 4 Light Thunders with the same name in your graveyard, add them to your hand. So everything you just searched off of Thunder Seahorse, if it's now in the grave, you can grab it back with Spirit Converter. which is really, really good. Next, I'm going to rapid fire some traps. If you'd like to switch out the staples, go ahead. We have Ichiroku's Ledger Book, easy banishes. Starry Dragon's Cycle, which is a very easy way to recover, especially if you're up against other decks with level 4s, being the most common level. That's kind of important. Enma's Judgment, when your opponent special summons a monsters, destroy it, which is really, really good. Tears of the Overroot, swap a card on the field with their graveyard. Now that's really, really nice to disrupt plays and mess with, especially Xyz monsters or boss monsters that just get sent to the grave. Next, we have 3 Phoenix Wing Wind Blast, because we are not scrapped for advantage. We can use this to get really, really nice removal as long as the opponent's monster can be targeted. We have Titanicider. Target a face-up monster your opponent controls, special summon from the extra deck, change its attack to 0, and negate its effects. If your opponent special summons from the extra deck while it's in your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can set the card. This is almost like Lost Wind, a little bit worse in most cases, but still really nice. We have Fiendish Chain, which is a very, very good monster negate and battle stopper. Finally, we enter the extra deck. We have a Dark Fire Dragon for Ready Fusion, as I said earlier. We have a Super Star Slayer Typhon Sky Crisis, because if you special summon or your opponent special summons from the extra deck a bunch of times, you can tack this onto an end board, which is really good. Next, we have a new card, Twins of the Eclipse. For this Xyz summon, you can treat rank 4s as level 4s. You can detach 1 material from this card, it can make up to 2 attacks, and if it's sent to the graveyard on monsters during each battle phase this turn, and if it's sent to the graveyard, you can target 2 other rank 4 or lower Xyz monsters in your graveyard, special summon 1, and attach the other to it. This card is really, really good for a lot of damage and that nice floating effect. We have Cairn Gorgon, Anti-Luminescent Knight. This, in short, you don't have to read all the text, says once per turn during either player's, actually I don't even think it says once per turn, during either player's turn, when a card or effect targets exactly 1 card, you can redirect that effect as long as it would be appropriate. That's really, really nice to be able to do. Next, we have Thunder Spark Dragon, number 91. You will notice number as an archetype is not banned in the Revolution format, and that's because it's less of a coherent archetype, and also it would ban like 100 cards, and that would just make things a little bit less fun. So, 3 level 4 monsters. You can either detach 3 materials, destroy all or face-up monsters on the field, or detach 5 materials, destroy all cards your opponent controls. And you might be a little confused how you get to 5 materials. Or, if you're paying attention, Spirit Converter and Otonari Thunder can both work towards getting this to 5 materials, which is really, really useful to wipe the entire of your opponent's board. Next, we have number 103 Ragna Zero as another rank 4 toolbox, which allows you to pop Xyz materials with extra attack and draw a card from it. Next, we have 2 King of the Feral Imps, which is a really easy way to search Kage for even more rank 4 potential. And we have Tornado Dragon for back row removal. We have Heretical Phobos Kovos, which can negate an effect, and if it battled this turn, you can take control of it, which isn't as useful in this deck, but you can just straight up steal a monster, which is really, really nice. We don't have Zeus in this deck. I believe Zeus is banned, thankfully, so this is not nearly as good, but it's still a very fun mind control card to use. We have number 106 Giant Hand for a monster negate that's really, really easy, and it locks your opponent's battle position. We have Starliege Paladynamo, which can easily beat over any monster by negating its effects and changing it to 0. Basically, it's a Titanicider on a monster effect that's not a quick effect. Finally, we have Starring Knight, which you can detach material from this card, special summon a light from your hand, which is really nice because your entire deck is lights. And if it's sent to your graveyard, or if it's in your graveyard except the turn it was sent there, you can target a level 4 light fairy, special summon this card, and attach that monster to this card as material. I think our entire deck is Thunder, so sadly that doesn't work, but you can take advantage of the first effect nonetheless. We have number 60 Dugaris the Timeless, which is extra draws, it's extra special summons from the grave, and it's extra damage for going for OTKs. Having something like Twins of the Eclipse, you can swing for 10,000 damage with it, which is amazing. We have number 52 Diamond Crab King as the last card in the extract. You may recognize this from the NR format. 2 level 4s, and it can become a 3k beat stick, which is really, really good. Now, on to the last part of this deck, which is a side deck. This deck is very, very straightforward, and I really want to try it one day because it's just rank 4. It is exactly what I love about Evil Swarm and Hat format. We have 3 Trap Eater to stop things like Fiendish Chain. We have a Top Hat Hair the Silhouette Magician, as well as Zoma the Spirit for extra rank 4 bodies, which is really, really cool, as well as taking advantage of Heretical Phobos Kovos. We have a Twister, paying 500 life points, again for a similar reason to pop a face-up spell trap. Next we have Spell Shattering Arrow, which is another way to wipe out face-up spells like field spells. It's another, because in this format, Mystical Space Typhoon is banned. Next we have 2 Zoma the Spirit, and I did have to modify the side deck slightly because of slight ratio differences to what I thought was optimal. Zoma the Spirit at 2 is not entirely optimal, but I thought it would be more interesting. Is a level 4 body that if it's destroyed by battle does a ton of burn damage to whoever destroyed it. So finally, we have 3 Wiretap, another way to stop back row. The Wiretap was even a common card back in the day in, I believe it was either Hat format or if it was Edison format. I'm not entirely sure. But as you can see, we wrapped up this deck pretty quickly, and I thank you all very much for watching because, in all honesty, this deck is very simple. But I highly recommend you give it a shot in Revolution format, which you can find in the Format Friends repository at the top of the description. I own it, which is really, really cool, and I am very happy to be able to show off these formats. So, with that being said, thank you all very much for watching. I'm hoping my VTuber model fixes the tracking, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace!